Hi everyone, Liverpool, Manchester United. What a game this coming Sunday. Of course on Super Sunday, and it's a Super 6 extra game as well, where you can win £5,000 by taking part. And who else than the two experts on Liverpool and Manchester United are going to talk you through it this morning. Gary Neville is here, and so is Jamie Carragher. And I think it's fair to say that Gary's getting a little bit excited about Manchester United being top of the league. Is that right, Gary?
Not Dave, not at all. Not honestly. Honestly, I'm not even excited about being top of the league.
What was that message? What was that message you woke up to this morning?
What message?
That little one you sent me when you were lying in bed just laughing. Man United, top of the league above the greatest Liverpool team of all time. You just burst out laughing. That was about 6 o'clock this morning.
It's the fact that about 8 weeks ago, it's like, oh, this could be the greatest Liverpool team of all time. They've won the Champions League 2 years on the bounce. They've got 100 points and all that sort of stuff. And I'm thinking, I'm Manchester United top of the league by 3 points going into a game at Anfield. It's just really funny. I don't think any Man United fan at this moment finds it anything other than just funny. And they're just a little bit, look at his face, it's stern, isn't it? He's biting it.
Jamie,
it's just funny. It's funny.
Do you think the people of Liverpool are getting a bit nervous, Jamie?
I think the last few weeks, yes, because I think probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, Liverpool looked like they were in a position to maybe pull away from the other teams. I mean, obviously United at the start of the season were inconsistent. City were the same. And I think that's the frustration with Liverpool. It's not just dropping points against maybe big teams. It's games where you think, you should win. And you always look ahead in the fixture list and think, oh, we'll probably get 9 points from 9 or 7 from 9 in that. And Liverpool, I think, have got, what have they got? I think 1 point from 9 or 2 points from 9. So I think that's the thing at the moment where a lot of other teams feel on the up. United do, City do. Everton got a good win last night. So a few of the other teams, probably not Chelsea, but Liverpool at this moment are going through a little bit of a poor spell. And all the other teams have been through because, as I said, everyone's quite tight on points. But I think Liverpool need a big win, and no bigger than Manchester United really, to almost, not so much for the points, almost to give everyone a feel-good factor back, because I think that's just dropped off in the last couple of weeks.
Notice how serious that was, Gary. That was a serious punditry riposte. He's not getting drawn in.
It was so professional. It was so...
I am professional. I mean, he's not professional, is he? He's singing that he hates Scousers. His mum and that yesterday on the way out at Burnley with that stupid big scarf. I thought he was going to choke himself.
It was so
right.
James, that was such a professional and straight answer. Congratulations.
Well, I thought that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Very much. We're going to go behind enemy lines now. The concept is simple. We're going to try and find out from Gary and Jamie what positives they have to say about their rival cities. So, for example, I'm going to ask you each a question, and you're going to tell us what you like about that specific thing. All right, Gary, have you got a point to make? I've
not been. Is that a positive?
I've seen you there. That's a lie.
Once.
Right. So I tell you what, Jamie, kick us off with this one. We're going to talk about managers. So who would be your favourite Manchester United manager and why?
Oh, Ferguson. Even when I was a Liverpool player, I used to have, probably more than respect for Ferguson, where he'd come from, his upbringing, obviously the jobs he'd done at other clubs besides Manchester United, because there's always that rivalry and it'll never change. Man United, Liverpool, who's got the best managers? You talk about Shankly, Paisley, Kenny, these type of managers. Obviously, Man United, I think, probably 2 in Sir Matt Busby and Sir Alex Ferguson. But I think what Ferguson done at Aberdeen as well, he'd just be one of those managers. And yes, if you're a rival of his, you don't like him, but the respect is there massively for the job that he's done. He'll go down as obviously one of the all-time best, if not the best. Obviously in Manchester United's eyes, but he's to be at a club that long with the pressures and be that successful, and no one's ever really done that before. I mean, you can go back to, obviously I mentioned Liverpool and maybe United with Sir Matt Busby, but even great managers now like Wenger or Mourinho, even Pep to a certain extent, it's always been a 4 or 5 year job, and then they move on. To do it for that long is quite incredible, really.
Gary, favourite Liverpool manager?
I was thinking there whilst Jamie was answering. I would say, because I don't really know, I never saw really that. Obviously, didn't see Bill Shankly's teams. Bob Paisley's teams I would have seen, but I've very early in my life. I would say it's between Kenny Dalglish and Jurgen Klopp, and I was just trying to determine between the two which one's done the sort of greater job. Obviously, Kenny being a player manager to start with, which is you think about that now and doing what he did was absolutely incredible. But then I think now Jurgen Klopp, if you think about the net spend of Liverpool in the last 3 or 4 years compared to City, United, Chelsea, and to say that he's got to 2 European Cup finals, done what he's done by winning the Premier League, I'd have to say Jurgen Klopp. Just maybe it's because it's more immediate in my mind. But I think the gulf in spending between Liverpool, United and the others wasn't that, Liverpool probably would have been up there with the big spenders when probably Kenny was the manager and Bob Paisley was the manager. I've not looked at it. It just feels like, the gulf in spending wasn't that great between them. But if you look at what City have spent in the last few years on players, and I know Liverpool have invested in the last few years, but the net spend, the overall sort of equation of money brought in versus money spent, I would say Jurgen Klopp probably. And the style of football that he's played is incredible.
All right, who's your favourite Liverpool player, Gary?
That I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In my younger years, the one that would have caused me the most problems would be John Barnes. I just felt he was sensational at Liverpool. I just felt when I was watching them when they were winning the leagues and I was growing up, it felt like he was the player that I just felt like he could do anything. Ruin my childhood. If it was one of the modern day players now, their most important player is Alisson. He's the goalkeeper. I think he's transformed Liverpool from being a team that were nearly there to a team that are there.
Jamie, for favourite Manchester United player?
I'd say Keane. I know he's our mate on Sky now, so I'm not trying to say this to get in his good books, but
he's not your mate.
No.
I can assure you of that.
Well, he might be after this anyway. But I'd say Keane. I think I love the way obviously he was a great player, but that mentality of wanting to win, that was our type of players. That's what we were. We were all like that as such. We weren't like the silky players in teams. So I think that's that winning mentality, that wanting to do it week in, week out. So I'd say obviously Man United have had great players, but I'd have always gone to Keane. But there were so many you could have chose from that 90s era, I suppose, into the 2000s with Manchester United. But he was there a long time, and I think a lot of it was obviously built from him.
What was your favourite moment, Jamie, at Old Trafford?
I think the first time we won there, I think was the 2001 season. I think it might have been just before Christmas, maybe. I think Danny Murphy scored. I think possibly Gary made a mistake. I think he'd done something on the edge of the box. I don't know if it was a handball. He tried to handball it, done something like this, and Danny Murphy scored. So he was getting obviously emotionally involved as he is doing at this moment, commentary-wise as well. But I'd go for that one because it was a psychological thing, really. I think it felt like we couldn't win at Old Trafford before that. I was still probably played there 3 or 4 times, so I wasn't played at Old Trafford that much, but it felt big when we'd won there. And then we had a little spell then of 4 or 5 years of being quite successful against United, home and away, really in one-off games. So I'd say, Danny Murphy got the winner in a yellow kit, I think, and a free kick at the Stretford end.
Gary, favourite moment at Anfield? I think we won 3-1, but he'll probably remember more than I did. It's the one where we were neck and neck, I think, probably going into Easter, really close. I think it was 95, 96 or 96, 97. I can't remember. 95, 96 it might have been. Where
it was 96, 97.
96, 97. Yeah, that was the one where I felt that they were close to us. They were close to us. Got so many good memories there. It was always tough for us there. That was the biggest win I think that I can think of where it sort of contributed to us winning a title. And I think Coley scored. I did a little bit of skill, a bit of trickery around Stig Inge Bjornby on that right wing, and then just hoiked it into the box. And I think David James came out and just sort of went like, and Andy Cole nodded it in at the back post, and it was a big moment. The other one was the John O'Shea one. The John O'Shea one was unbelievable. I mean, we're down to 10 men. And look at him there shaking his head.
Steve Finnan's fault.
The John O'Shea one was unbelievable. Honestly, it was frightening. That was like, I think that's the most I've ever celebrated at Anfield. Last minute, down to 10 men, and just went and scored. So those two are the big ones. But the most meaningful one, I think, was that one where we Dave Jones left. We were on our own. It's what we've always wanted. Dave Jones to leave. Maguire's was a goal. Did you think that Luke Shaw's was a red, or did you think it should have gone on to the Robbie Brady red?
I thought Harry Maguire's was a goal. I thought Luke Shaw was very, very lucky. I think
I did.
I thought he was very lucky. I thought that. I think years ago you'd be fine. It was always if you touch the ball first. He touches the ball and then it's the follow through. And I think that thing of touching the ball now that's gone out the game. Really, it's almost what you do afterwards. And to be honest, sometimes I think I'll have done that. You'll have done that in your career, and it's probably a little bit harsh. Or because once you've kicked the ball, if you haven't fully kicked it, it's difficult to control your leg where it goes. But I think that could have eased. If it had been a red, I don't think anyone would have complained.
No, to me, it was the distance of having gone over the ball. He then seemed on one angle just to put his left leg out, didn't he? Just a little bit to the left towards his leg. I thought he was lucky. I thought at half time, I mean, I scrambled around on it because, to be fair, the producer came in here and said that Salford had scored right in the middle of it all happening, and my head was everywhere.
I tell you what, well, you're on something today. You took the producer down of Sky with you for your commentary. You've apologised about your own commentary, but you've took about 4 or 5 people with you.
No, seriously, Cara, I'm on commentary. The Shaw things happened. We've got the VAR guy here. The Loz is in me here directing, telling me they're going to look back at the Shaw incident. The Robbie Brady one, I'm looking at that on the screen where the VAR people are looking. And then the producers come in here and said Ian Henderson scored at Scunthorpe in the 92nd minute. And I've gone. My head's gone. I'm all over the place. And literally, I just got the director telling me that they're not looking at the Shaw red card. And I went, they are looking at the Shaw red card. I can see it on my second screen. He then says they're not looking at it. They're looking at it to see whether it's a foul before the Robbie Brady red card. And I'm like, oh. And I was all over the place. I actually think both managers would have been happy at half time with the fact their players didn't get a red.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, when I went up the other end as well. Yeah, I mean, I was watching it, and it was just, I was like, anything could happen here. And to be honest, you're right in some ways. Obviously, I'd rather Shaw go off than the Burnley player. And then I was sitting there watching it with James. I'm like, you know what? I'd probably take that in the end, where it was just like everything was equal. You know, just sort of no one goes off type of thing. But you've had. I mean, I was looking at your Twitter feed. It went on fire last night, didn't it?
What do you mean with what?
I don't know. You're singing about us. Your commentary. You're on Mail Online today.
It's
sending
just,
me messages. I mean, you're psychologically, you're in a very strange place at this moment.
I'm delirious. It's unbelievable, honestly. It's play on your message that I sent you this morning. Play me your message. Go on. Get your phone and play your message. Honestly, play your message that I sent you this morning. I woke up this morning just absolutely delirious. Here, go and play that. Dave Jones is back. Dave, just watch this. We just did a little interlude without you, Dave. It was really good. Watch this, Dave.
3 points clear of the greatest Liverpool team of all time.
That's what I woke up to this morning.
Oh my!
Right, we're back.
Right, come on, Dave. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. The whole system crashed. Right, so you just done your favourite moment at Old Trafford at Anfield. So let's pick up with Jamie first of all. Who would you say is your favourite band or musician from Manchester?
Oh, Oasis. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, they are brilliant musically wise. Manchester, great music scene there. Obviously, they'll never get the number 1 spot. We know that would be, obviously. But great musicians, great bands, and it'd have to be Oasis. Big fan of theirs, yeah. I'm possibly more. I'm more in the Noel camp, shall we say?
Okay. I wonder which the number 1 band is, Gary. Who's your favourite band from Liverpool?
I will go for the Beatles, Dave. Very important. Very important. Very important.
He's got almost like a Beatles picture behind him, almost like psychedelic, isn't it? All them different colours in the behind him.
I thought it was Picasso.
No, that's Ollie and his wife when they win the league.
As you and Ollie when they win the league. What's your favourite thing to do in the city of Liverpool, Gary?
Leave.
I knew he was going to say that.
No, I think you'd have to. I mean, look, Dave, I've been there. I went out once in my life in Liverpool. I've been out once. He took me out. It was all right. Yeah, I was scurried in the back door, sat down in a corner out the way. It was only a couple of years ago. I mean, it was inconceivable that I would ever be able to go out in Liverpool. I've been out once in Liverpool in my life. I've been to the city once in my life, other than for football. So I'd have to say for football, wouldn't I? I go to Everton and Liverpool a lot. And look, the atmospheres when obviously both grounds are full of bouncing, and you always get good games, particularly in the last few years. And yeah, no, it'd be happy for football when it's to watch the games.
Jamie, favourite thing to do in Manchester?
Fly out of there, the airport. That's the only time I go to Manchester. Yeah, get a flight.
We've got an international airport, Dave, in Manchester.
Well, Stockport.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything good about Manchester's outside Manchester. Old Trafford is not even in Manchester, is it? Oh yeah. Your missus just said to you, "You like flannels, don't you?"
Yeah. They've got to come over to Manchester to shop.
We used to.
Who's your Jamie? Who's your favourite person from Manchester?
Favourite person from Manchester? Just trying to think now. I'll have to go for Mr. Neville. Welcome me on Monday Night Football. Yeah, I'll go for him because I can't think of anyone else at this moment.
That's nice.
Who else is there, Dave? Is there anyone I've missed out?
Phil Neville?
Yeah, Phil, you can't. Gary or Phil, you've probably always got to side with Gary, haven't you, I suppose? Phil, you can't be Phil Neville, can you?
It's not nice.
Gary, favourite person from Liverpool?
I'm going to go Wayne Rooney for what he did for United.
Have we had any Manx play for Liverpool?
I was just trying to think of that, but you finish your answer, so I'll just go on to what Wayne Rooney did for Man United, really, for United. He was an unbelievable, brilliant player, one of the best players the club's ever had.
One of the best players to ever play for United, and you all seen the 8 Scousers. Unbelievable, isn't it?
I can't think of any Manchester people that played for Liverpool, Jamie. If you would know, I mean, if anybody does.
You wouldn't want them, would you?
There must be somebody. There must be somebody who played for Liverpool who's from Manchester. I can't think of any. I mean, to be fair, it's not something we do.
This is a challenge for you. In the accent, what is your favourite Liverpool saying, Gary?
Okay. They say it 4 different ways, Dave, the same word, and it depends on how angry they are or what they're trying to get out of it, you know what I mean?
Jamie,
Manchester?
What does he say a lot? He said something on commentary the other day. Just when you talk about someone, a goalie being in net, it's in goal, isn't it? In net. It's like it's not in net, it's in goal.
Where does he like to eat? Where does he like to eat, Jamie?
What's that?
Where does he go to eat?
Restaurant. Yeah, that's the one. A restaurant. Yeah, go for that one.
And what does Gary? What does Jamie do when he runs really, really quickly?
Sprint.
What's that? Sprint. Yeah, sprint. Yeah. He sprint down the wing. We're there off camera.
So these are games that you played in, Liverpool Manchester United games that you both featured in, and we're going to put you on the spot for these questions. First of all, so there's a question. And then there's an answer. Sorry, there's a general game, and then there's a question for both of you Let me put this in a bit.
Dave, do you want to leave again? Let's do it.
Did someone pull the plug on my computer? So to explain, I'm going to reference a game. Then there's a question for each of you on that game. All right? That sounds pretty clear to me. So in 2003, you both played when Manchester United won 4-0 at Old Trafford. Gary, who scored their first home goal in the Premier League for over 2 years on that day? You're allowed to answer at any point.
I'll just say Paul Scholes, but I haven't got a clue.
The answer was Ryan Giggs. Jamie, who was sent off in the 4th minute of that game?
Sammy Hippier.
Correct. Question 2. In 2006, Manchester United beat Liverpool thanks to a last gasp winner from Rio Ferdinand. Jamie, how did Gary Neville celebrate?
He ran over to the Liverpool supporters and kissed his badge, and I think he got an FA fine for it. But I mean, he'd been getting a little bit of stick about some family members, I think. So, so you know what? All fair in love and war.
It was a 2-game ban he got, but otherwise it was correct. Gary, who started alongside Rio Ferdinand at centre-back that day?
Wes Brown?
Correct.
That's a guess.
In 2008, Liverpool kept their first home clean sheet against Manchester United in 4 years with a 2-0 victory. Gary, 2 players got red cards that day. Can you name them?
I played. 2008, I don't think I played.
Well, you've certainly been around it.
Two players got a red card. Well, Nemanja Vidic got sent off for about 3 years, 4 years on the bounce.
Right, he's
so
one of them.
I'll just say him.
Yeah. Liverpool.
And for Liverpool, Gerrard? Oh, Steven Gerrard? No. Is it Gerrard? I'll go Gerrard, but I don't think it was him. I'm getting my games mixed up.
No, it was Javier Mascherano. Jamie, who scored in the 96th minute and said in an interview, "It's my best moment in football."
What game was it?
That same game, 2008. 2-0 victory.
David Ngo.
Correct.
David who?
Exactly.
Who did he say that? I didn't know what he said.
David Ngo.
For us or for you?
For us.
Well, I thought we won 2-0.
No.
All right.
1999, 10-man Manchester United beat Liverpool 3-2 at Anfield. That's 1999. Gary, at the time, Jamie Carragher became the first Premier League player ever to do what in that game?
He scored 2 own goals because I was injured and I was watching it at home. In fact, I was watching it at my girlfriend's house in Salford. It was unbelievable, honestly. Honestly, I think actually I chuckle. I haven't chuckled as much. I think probably last night after the Burnley game is the most I've chuckled since that day. Actually,
Jamie, Manchester United gave this goalkeeper his debut. He won the man of the match, but made just 4 appearances. Can you name him?
Taibbi.
Yeah, I remember that.
For a bonus point, first fingers on the buzzer. Who was sent off for Manchester United?
Oh, I know that. It was was it Andy Cole?
It was. Question 5. In 2000, Manchester United suffered their first home league defeat in over 2 years after a 1-0 loss to Liverpool. Jamie, who scored the decisive free kick?
Sorry, Dave, what year was that, did you say?
That's year 2000.
Oh, the year 2000. Oh, Danny Murphy.
Is correct. Which young Manchester United midfielder, Gary, came on in the 80th minute, only to be sent off in the 89th minute?
Oh, he got... Oh. I don't know, but I do remember something like that happening.
Was it Luke Chadwick?
Yeah, I thought it might be. I was going to say Luke Chadwick then, you know. He got sent off for dragging someone down who's thrown goal, didn't he? He tripped someone up who's thrown goal.
Game, yeah, it might have been, right, yeah.
In 2010, you both played your final Premier League game against each other. Manchester United won it 2-1. Jamie, can you name the goal scorers, all three?
I know Ji-sung Park scored the winner, I think. For Liverpool, did Torres score?
Yeah.
Torres played, I remember that.
Yeah, Ji-sung Park. It's just who got the first. I'll tell you who got it. Wayne Rooney missed the penalty and scored the follow-up.
Very good. Very good. Can't teach that. Gary,
how can you not remember that?
I do you know something? Do you remember?
Because you were trying to get Mascherano sent off. Do you remember?
Yeah, do you know something? That's the thing for me about matches. I don't remember goals. I remember the ball getting played over, little stupid things like the ball getting played over my head. And I'd had my injury by then. But actually, I felt in a decent moment. And I remember sprinting with Torres and sliding into the touchline. And I remember that moment of living with him and actually being able to stay with him, which was unusual for me at that point because I'd gone. And I also remember the Mascherano trying to get him sent off. And I also remember doing a tackle on, is it Maxi Rodriguez?
Yeah.
So I remember Maxi Rodriguez when the ball got played into him head high. And I went like that with my studs right through the side of his ear and his head. And him going down for about 5 minutes. And I remember those three incidents from that match, but I don't remember anything about the goals. I wouldn't have a clue.
Can you remember, Gary, where Liverpool finished that season?
No, I wouldn't have a clue. I'd be guessing. Third, second?
Seventh.
Seventh is correct, Jamie.
You were bad, weren't you? You could end up there this season if you're not careful.
This is all going to come back and haunt them. All these Twitter and text messages I've saved and bookmarked on Twitter.
Oh, save them all. Save them all.
They're accumulating.
Save them all. I've got all yours. I've got all yours saying that Liverpool are the greatest team of all time. Oh,
Question 7. Liverpool beat Manchester United 2-0 in the League Cup final at the Millennium Stadium. Name the year, Jamie.
Bad that.
It was 2003, and the only dampener on that game was the game was won, obviously, in the last minute or so. And Danny Murphy does Gary Neville on the byline. He megs him on the byline. It's just a simple tapping for Smicer to make it 3-0. And Smicer somehow misses the ball completely at the back post from like a yard out. Do you remember that, Gary?
Yeah. Now you've just said it. I do remember something like that happening. That was I got pulled in the office after that game. I got dropped for a couple of games after that match. That was a bad moment. I was bad form around that time.
Well, you were both playing right back.
Hey?
What got said in the office?
Yeah, no, he had me and Bex down that right-hand side. He'd played there for like 8 years, and he had a word with both of us after that match. It wasn't a good day, that.
You both played right back. Can you remember, Gary, who played left back for both teams?
Who would have played? Mikel would have played left back, would he? Mikel? No? For us?
Yes.
Chasey? Or Mikel Silvestre?
Yes.
Yeah.
And for Liverpool?
Finnan?
No, left back.
He sometimes did, didn't he? No?
Was it Risa?
Risa. Last couple. In games against Liverpool and Manchester United, Gary, who's made the most appearances in games between Liverpool and Manchester United?
I think it's him, isn't it?
It's not.
Oh, is it Giggsy, I'd say. Giggsy. Yeah.
Giggsy. And Jamie, who scored the most goals? Jamie?
So is this just the Premier League, Dave?
No.
I know Steven Gerrard's got I'm sure Stevie's got the most for Liverpool against Man U. It's just whether... But Ian Rush didn't score many against Man U, did he?
No.
Your first answer.
Yeah, I got Stevie.
Correct.
Yeah.
A joint top with George Wall and Sandy Turnbull. I'm not sure you were getting either of those. In 2002, Manchester United beat Liverpool 2-1 at Anfield. Jamie, who scored a 3-minute brace for United to seal victory?
Oh, 2002.
I think I remember. Oh, no, I don't. I'm well.
Oh, yes, I've got it.
Go on.
Diego Forlan.
Yeah, very good. Were you going to say that, Gary?
No, I was going to say Carlos Tevez, and I remember he didn't join until 2007.
Who starred in goal for Manchester United, though, Gary, that game?
2002?
Yeah, 2002. Who would that have been?
Who what?
Who was in goal? Who's it? He had a good game. Manchester United beat Liverpool 2-1 at Anfield.
Would it be Roy Carroll?
No.
But was Bartes had left then, hasn't he? No, Bartes then, Fabian.
Yeah. Yes, it was Bartes. Final question. 2001, Liverpool shocked Manchester United with a 3-1 win at Old Trafford. Jamie, which player scored an unstoppable free kick for Liverpool?
That was at Anfield that game, Dave. It was John Arne.
Was it at Anfield?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll take your word for it. And it was John Arne.
Do your own work next time, Dave.
Yeah, I'll pass that on to the organisers.
not much chance when he's correcting the quizmaster. What chance have I got?
Gary, who scored their 50th goal for Manchester United in that game?
When was that? 2001.
Rude.
No.
Did Dwight Yorke score that game?
The answer was someone who played just in front of you, Gary.
Becks.
Oh, Beckham.
It was indeed David Beckham, which brings us to the end of our quiz. And the final score is Jamie got absolutely everything right and Gary got 2 right. So let's see if that is going to be an omen on this coming Sunday. Final quick fire round of Super 6 extra predictions ahead of Liverpool-Manchester United this coming Sunday. So, Gary, let's put you on the spot. What will the full-time score be?
1-1.
Jamie?
Liverpool 2-1.
Ooh. Half-time score, Jamie, what do you think it's going to be?
1-0 Liverpool.
Liverpool will be leading at half-time. Gary, what's your at half-time?
I think Liverpool will score in the first half and United will score in the second.
Okay. Who do you think, Gary, will score the first goal?
I think it will be Mane.
Gary's gone for Sadio Mane to put Liverpool in front. Jamie, who's your first scorer?
Mo Salah. Bit of a barren spell of late, so I think he's due one.
Could be a few tackles going in. Who's going to receive the first card, Jamie, do you think?
Ooh. Andy Robertson.
Gary, who's your tip for the first yellow card?
I'll go for Fred.
Fred to be back in the team and getting a booking. Gary, how many corners in the match? What would your prediction be?
I'll say 7.
Jamie, thinking higher or lower?
Higher.
Go on then.
Oh, I thought I just needed to go higher. Do you need a specific one?
Give us a number.
I'll go 8. So anything above that, I'm done, aren't I? I've won, haven't I?
Jamie, who do you think will be the man of the match in this what you're predicting, a Liverpool victory?
Ooh, who do I think will be man of the match? Thiago.
Oh, Gary.
I'll go McTominay.
Scott McTominay. And who's going to be smiling on Monday Night Football? It'd be lively, couldn't it, Monday night?
Yeah, it will. No, I'm looking forward to it. We can have a good go at the game because I think there's obviously another game on Sky afterwards, so maybe not go into as much detail as we normally do on the back of a 4:30 game. So gives a good chance. But no, listen, I'm confident Liverpool. If the thing with Liverpool is I think they've played well this season in the big games, not in the smaller games. That's where they found some of them against all the big teams when it's been a proper game. I think they've shown that. I think they'll just come out on top. I'm pretty confident Liverpool will win.
Who's your centre back? Who are your centre backs?
Well, it'll be Fabinho, who has played as well as any centre back in the league this season. To be fair, and it's just whether Matip's fit. If Matip's fit, I'll be extremely confident Liverpool will win. If he's not, that's when you start worrying that obviously you could lose the game or drop points or whatever it may be. So I think a lot hinges on whether Matip plays. But I think it's looking okay that he might play at this moment.
It sounds like you're all good, mate. Well done. Congrats.
Yeah, fine. We're fine. Don't worry. Use the ones who are panicking, sending tweets out and getting all carried away.
Oh, There's never been less.
Supposed to be the biggest team in the world. They keep saying this on Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world. The carry on. It's not even halfway through the season yet.
There's never been less.
Unbelievable.
There's never been less panic in Manchester for 7 or 8 years. Honestly, this is the least panicky that we've ever been.
Listen, yous are panicking.
We will chill out.
The hope that kills you. You know that. The hope's coming back. There's a little bit of, we can't do it, can we? Oh, we might. And it's that little bit of getting carried away. A few little treats from your mates. I've seen them all. I've saved them all. They're all ready. They're all ready for 6 o'clock. Half 6 on Sunday.
You've got it wrong. You've got it wrong.
It took us 40 minutes, but eventually we saw the emotional side of Jamie coming out there.
No, but just making sure I've saved them all. I'm thinking, did we carry on like this when we were halfway through a season, we top of the league? Were we carrying on like this? Oh my God, the team that spent more money than everyone, every transfer window, and they're getting carried away.
Boys, thank you very much. Super 6 Extra returns this Sunday with the biggest fixture of the weekend, or any weekend. Liverpool taking on Manchester United. If you want to be in with the chance of winning £5,000, download the Super 6 app and simply predict 6 outcomes ahead of the derby. What will the final score be? Who will score first? The number of corners. Enter your predictions before 4:30 on Sunday afternoon. You've got to be 18 or over. Terms and conditions apply.
Just watch Rashford and Greenwood in them little. Just watch them. Just watch them.
Is Pogba not playing left wing though? Is Pogba not playing left wing? That's where you play Pogba now, isn't it? You want him left wing, don't you?
No. Pogba, Rashford, Greenwood.
Oh, so you're going to go 4-2-3-1? Absolutely no chance.
Pogba, Rashford, Greenwood.
Hey, Pogba wouldn't even be playing. Only for Martial's injury.
You've got Fabinho, the best centre back in the league. So you're good, mate. Well done. See you later. Well done.